It was close to midnight when the storm rolled in. Heavy rain slammed against my window, the wind howling like a distant scream. I was sitting on my bed, scrolling my phone, the soft hum of my desk lamp filling the otherwise silent room. Outside, the streetlights glowed faintly through the downpour, their halos swallowed by the dark. I remember feeling oddly alert, like the house was holding its breath. That's when I heard it, a soft knock on my window. At first I told myself it was just a loose branch tapping in the wind. But then it came again. 3 slow, deliberate knocks. I froze, my phone slipping slightly in my hand. My window was on the second floor. No one could reach it without a ladder. I forced myself to peek through the curtains. Through the blur of rain, I saw nothing, just darkness and the distorted reflection of my own face. I was about to turn away when lightning lit up the street, and for a split second I saw it. A figure standing on the roof of the porch, just below my window, soaked, head tilted at an unnatural angle, completely still. When the light faded, it vanished into darkness again. The storm seemed to grow louder, like it was swallowing my heartbeat. I stepped back, trying to convince myself I was imagining things. That's when I heard it. A voice, faint but clear, whispering through the rain. "Let me in!" The words were slow, drawn out, almost childlike, but there was something off about them. Too deep, too wet, like the sound was coming from somewhere underwater. Before I could move, the house went completely dark. The hum of my lamp died. My phone screen dimmed as if even the battery was holding its breath. In the silence between thunder, I heard the knock again, louder this time, then the faint scrape of fingers sliding slowly down the glass. I grabbed my flashlight and shined it at the window. The beam caught a face, pale, dripping, with wide, unblinking eyes staring right at me. The mouth stretched slowly into a grin, revealing teeth that looked too sharp to be human. I stumbled backward, my flashlight clattering to the floor. When I picked it up and shined it again, the face was gone. I stayed up the rest of the night, flashlight in hand, waiting. There were no more knocks, but in the morning I saw it. Wet footprints on the porch roof, leading toward my window. The last one stopped just beneath where my bed was. It was a Friday night, just after 11 p.m. The rain had been falling all day, but now it was heavier than ever. Fat, cold drops smearing the windshield, wipers screeching in protest. I'd just finished a late shift at work, and my only thought was to get home, kick off my shoes, and sleep. But the roads were nearly empty, except for one thing, a flickering street lamp up ahead. And under it, a man stood perfectly still, facing the road. As I got closer, I slowed down. He wasn't holding an umbrella, wasn't even shivering, just standing there in a soaked trench coat, head slightly tilted, as if listening to something only he could hear. I thought maybe he needed help. Then I noticed his face, or rather the lack of one. In the dim, sputtering light, it was like his skin was stretched smooth, where his eyes, nose and mouth should be. My stomach dropped. I drove past without looking again. 2 minutes later, I glanced in the rearview mirror, and my blood froze. He was standing on the side of the road again. Closer now. I'd been driving the whole time. There was no way he could have gotten there on foot. I pressed the gas. My hands were slick with sweat despite the cold. Desperate to lose him, I turned down a narrow side road through an industrial area. The rain was deafening now, hammering the roof like nails. My headlights swept across rows of old warehouses, their windows black like empty eyes. That's when I saw him again, standing at the far end of the road directly in my path. This time he was closer, his head still tilted as if he was curious about me. I swerved past him and didn't stop until I reached my apartment building. I sat in the car for a minute, trying to convince myself it was all in my head. The street was empty, just the sound of rain on the pavement. I ran inside, locked my door and leaned against it. My phone buzzed, an unknown number with no caller ID. I answered, my voice trembling. All I heard was rain. Then 3 slow knocks on my apartment door. I didn't open it, I didn't move. I just sat on the floor, holding my breath. Minutes passed. Then from my window I saw him, standing under the flickering street lamp outside my building, head tilted, waiting. The rain hasn't stopped since. It was past midnight when I left my friend's house. The rain had been falling in steady sheets since late evening, but now it had turned violent, wind whipping through the trees and thunder shaking the ground. I took the back road home, Willow Creek Road, thinking I'd save 10 minutes. Bad choice. The wipers thudded uselessly against the windshield, barely clearing enough to see the narrow, twisting road. The waterlogged asphalt gleamed under my headlights like a mirror, reflecting jagged streaks of lightning. About 5 minutes in, I saw someone, in the middle of the road. At first I thought it was a tree branch, but as the beams of my headlights caught it, the outline sharpened into a human figure. A tall man in drenched, old-fashioned clothes stood perfectly still, head tilted down, rain pouring over him. I slowed to a crawl. My horn blared. He didn't move. Then, just as I was about to swerve around him, his head jerked up and he smiled. It wasn't a normal smile. It was too wide, teeth showing in the pale flash of lightning. I blinked, and he was gone. My heart was pounding, but I told myself I was tired, imagining things. I pressed on, but after another curve, my headlights swept over a side path, and there he was again. Closer this time, standing between the trees, shoulders hunched, watching my car pass. He didn't move, but his head followed me, tracking me in the dark. A mile later, my dashboard lights flickered. The engine sputtered and died. The car rolled to a stop in the middle of the road. I tried the ignition again. Nothing. Just the sound of the rain hammering the roof. That's when I saw movement in the rearview mirror. Far back, illuminated in the dim glow of my taillights, a dark shape was walking slowly toward me, head down, hands swaying at his sides. I locked the doors and gripped my phone. No signal. My breath fogged the glass as the figure came closer. I ducked down in the seat, praying he'd pass by. Instead, I heard 3 slow knocks on my driver's side window. I froze. Slowly, I looked up. He was right there, the same grin. Rainwater ran down his face, but his eyes, they were too dark, like deep, empty sockets. His mouth moved, but I couldn't hear over the storm. I squeezed my eyes shut, fumbling for anything I could use as a weapon. When I looked again, the window was empty. I dared to start breathing again until I noticed in the side mirror. He was already far down the road, walking away, vanishing into the sheets of rain. The car roared to life on the next try. I didn't question it. I just drove, not looking back, not stopping until I saw the lights of the main highway.